What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about how to become unstoppable. Yeah, I know it's cheesy, but have you ever wondered what makes people who are at the top of the game, why are they so unstoppable? Why are they at the top of the game? You've got people like Elon Musk, richest man in the world, Joe Rogan, biggest podcaster influencer in the world, even Andrew Tate, whether you love him or hate him. These guys are unstoppable. They've been through so much adversity, which I'll talk about in a second. But you have people like that who are just winners and absolutely dominating in their field, in their industry, whatever they're in. And then you have other people, in just myself before, when I was younger, who are just pussies. Basically, they're just like. Losers, you bang your toe or you get a cough or you get a sniffly nose and you need to take a month off the gym. And what is the difference between these two people? Like that, I've spent years studying this stuff to just try and figure out, what makes someone a beast. Because I want to become a beast, right? So that's what we're talking about in this video, is specifically how to become unstoppable, okay? Because those three examples, Tate, Musk and Rogan, they've all been through a lot of adversity. I mean, anyone at the top of their game has had to deal with a lot of shit, basically. The more money you make, the more shit you have to deal with. And that's why people say more money, more problems, right? But it's not just about the money, which is why they've gone through the adversity. Like if we take Tate, for example, he's had a lot of matrix attacks, as he would call them. But I think that's a great name to call them, because all three of them have had matrix attacks, actually. Elon Musk got so much hate for when he bought Twitter, and then he fired lots of people, and he's always had a lot of backlash about the things he's been trying to do, because he's in his own lane, he does his own thing, he doesn't listen to other people, he just does what he thinks best, and turns out he's smarter than most people, so he's doing pretty well. But even with Joe Rogan once said on one of his podcasts, which he's done thousands at this point, Joe Rogan said the N-word, right, referring to people with colored skin. And all hell broke loose. People went through every single video trying to put like compilations together to make him out like he's such a bad person. They were trying to cancel Joe Rogan. Anyway, what did Joe Rogan do? Yeah, he moved to Spotify. YouTube was censoring his content, so he signed a deal with Spotify, and now he's on there. Okay, and you look at Tate. They cancelled him on everywhere, on YouTube, or all his social media accounts, his Airbnb, his Uber, his bank accounts, everything. And he's still doing pretty well, And even Elon Musk, he's had some battles along the way, but all three of these guys have battled through adversity. They're unstoppable. So what can we do? How can we become unstoppable like them, so we can get to the top of our field in whatever it is that you want to do? Okay, so I've got 3 tips here that I think make you unstoppable. Okay, and the first one is you got to believe in yourself. Okay, because if you don't believe in you, no one else is going to believe in you, right? If you first have to believe that you're capable of getting 6-pack abs before you will get 6-pack abs. You have to believe that you're capable of having a loving, caring relationship and finding a wife or a girlfriend or a partner before anyone else is going to believe in you, before they're going to believe in you, okay? You have to believe that you're capable of making $1 million before you make $1 million. It's not going to happen by accident. It all starts with belief, guys. And a lot of people simply just don't believe in themselves. Like for me, for example, from a very young age, right, I just had this deep desire that I felt like I was destined for something great, right? I just, wanted to do so well, and I really just didn't want an average life at all. But at the same time, I had this weird paradox where I just didn't believe in myself, and I just didn't take action. I just didn't do anything. I didn't even try. I would have an idea of like, oh, maybe I should do this thing or that thing, and I would just talk myself out of it. I would talk myself out of it before I'd even tried, right? And I just see this all the time with people who are naturally talented, or have great skills and a lot of potential, but they simply just don't believe in themselves. And because they don't believe in themselves, then they don't do the necessary actions which is going to help them progress in life. So step number 1 to becoming unstoppable is to believe in yourself. You are capable of so much more than you realize if you just simply believed it was possible. I've made previous videos on this, but there's a really good quote that I like, which is, the man who thinks he can and the man who thinks he can't are both right, okay? So whatever you want to do, if you believe it's possible, I mean, apart from maybe just like flying, like without any assistance or a plane or anything like that, yeah, maybe that's physically impossible. But most things that you want to achieve in your life are possible. If someone else has done it out there, it's possible, right? Okay, so you need to believe in yourself. Step number 2 is take massive action, okay? There's a great book on this. I highly recommend this book called The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. And basically, the big idea in the book is that people don't set goals big enough because they aim to be realistic, okay? And what happens is when you set a realistic goal, it's not big enough to excite you. And then people underestimate how much work it takes to achieve a goal, okay? So the big idea in the book is whatever goal you have, times it by 10, okay? And that's your goal. So if you want to make $1 million in a year, set a goal to make 10 million in a year, okay? And then what that does is it changes your actions that are required to hit that goal. Because now you've got a 10x bigger goal, well, now you need to put in 10x bigger actions, okay? And if you look at anyone who's done anything great, they've taken action, like a lot of action over a long period of time, okay? They've taken massive, massive action. And you're never going to take massive action if you don't believe in yourself. So you first have to believe in yourself, you first have to believe it's possible, and then just show up and take massive action. Do way more than you think you're gonna need to do. Like, for example, with going to the gym and getting a six-pack, for me, it was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought I could just go to the gym for a few months and then, you know, boom, I would have six-pack abs. But unfortunately, this went on for years and I still didn't really have like a good six-pack, okay? So whatever you want to achieve, if it's a worthwhile goal, it's gonna take a lot of time and effort to get there, all right, guys? So step number 2 is take massive action. Step number 3 is stay the course and don't quit, because what happens is, or at least what used to happen to me, is you can go along on a path and then you get shiny object syndrome, and then you'll say, oh, look at this opportunity or look at that opportunity. You know, maybe you're looking at what kind of business to start and you've got people online talking about SSMA, and then you've got other people talking about online courses, you've got other people talking about drop shipping and, you know, remote sales, and you've got all these different avenues. It's like, oh, I just don't know which direction to go in. But there is no right answer. There is no best business model. Like the grass is always greener on the other side if you have that perspective. But you should really just have this perspective of the grass is greener where you water it, because all these business models can work. It never comes down to the business model whether you're going to have success or not. It comes down to execution, okay? And anyone who gets massive success with the training and the nutrition and everything like that, they've just been at it for a long time. They've done the right actions for a long enough time period, and they've not got distracted. They've not changed, you know, different training styles and different nutrition styles. They've just stuck with what works for a long enough time period to be able to get results, okay? And this is a big mistake that I made when I was younger, is I played football for a few months, then I played cricket, and then I did boxing, and then I kept changing. And I never actually got good at anything because I just kept changing all the time. And now I don't change much, to be honest. I live a very kind of focused and structured life, and it's helping me make significant improvements in just the few areas that I care about, okay? So you got to believe in yourself, you got to take massive action, and then you've just got to stay the course and don't quit. And if you do this over a long enough time period, it is impossible for you to fail, okay? Because what happens is you start to stack little wins, okay? It's a bit like uploading videos to YouTube, right? The first video that I upload, it's not going to be very good, no one's going to watch it, no one's going to see it, okay? But with each video that I upload, I'm a little step closer to my goal, little step closer, like just a little bit, okay? And with each video that I upload, I get a little bit better. And every video I'm improving, and it's just like laying a brick after brick after brick, and you can imagine like building a house or something like that. Every single video is a brick. Every single training session when you go to the gym is a brick towards, you know, building a strong physique, or, you know, achieving your goals. Every single day you work on your business is another brick laid, okay? And a lot of people just think, you know, compound interest. I don't know whether you've heard of that term. You know, it's from the financial markets, and it refers to like when you when you earn money on interest saved and you reinvest that money, the pot gets bigger over time, and the amount of interest that you earn exponentially grows over time. Okay, so if you like doubled a penny every single day, even for like 30 days, you would have a massive amount of money at the end. Okay, that's the power of compound interest. But compound interest also applies to relationships, it applies to fitness, it applies to business, it applies to skills, it applies to every single aspect of your life. It's compound interest. But if you keep changing and swapping and doing this thing and that thing, you like, or changing, even just changing partners, like this is a mistake that I made, is I just kept changing relationships and people that I was with, the girls and stuff like that, and you never get to a point where you can start to get massive returns because you're just constantly going through these kind of like shallow relationships. And it's the same in jobs. If you keep changing jobs every 6 months or a year, you're not going to get to a point where you can really benefit from compound interest. It's the same for businesses. No business smashes it in the first year. I mean, you might make a lot of money, but you're not going to be at the top or reach your potential in your first year of that specific business. Okay, so it's the power of compound interest. You've got to stay the course for a long enough time. And really, what all this comes down to is momentum. Okay, now I don't know whether you've ever seen a train set off. Okay, you know, like a big heavy train. Well, when they set off, they're so slow. Okay, they take a long time. It's very sluggish. Like, it seems like not much is happening. Okay, but over time, the train starts to pick up speed, and it gets faster and it gets faster and it gets faster, and it gets to the point like some of these trains are traveling at like 200 miles an hour or something. And even if something was to try and stop that train, even if they were to try and slam on the brakes, it would take ages for it to stop. And that's what these guys are like. Andrew Tate, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, anyone at the top of their field, they have so much momentum right now that they're just unstoppable. And they have this momentum because they believed in themselves, they took massive actions, and they didn't quit, and they did it for years and years and years and years and years, and now they're like literally unstoppable, they're uncancelable. Okay? And we can take these same principles. All right, we don't have to be the richest man in the world. We don't have to be the most famous man in the world. We don't have to be the biggest influencer in the world. But I'm pretty sure there are some things that you really care about and you would like to get better at them. And if you just applied these principles, you will become an absolute beast in a short space of time. Right, guys, so that's it. I hope it helps. If you enjoyed this video, then you might like my community and course and coaching. Everything is in the link in the description down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.